Hello, hello. How are you today? I hope you're well. Beautiful, bright, shiny weather here in Alberta, Canada, where I'm from. Um, so I read some posts on Facebook today that got me really thinking. And the question is, who are you? Who are you? So you grew up with a whole bunch of different programs, or I don't know, I call them the escalator items, where you start off being a student and be a good student and go to university and get an education. So you start there, and then you start to become your own person, and you start to date, and you start to love, and maybe you fall in love with someone and get married, and then you get into being a husband or a wife. And then you move into having children, and then you become a father or a mother. You become a businessman, businesswoman, a good daughter, a good son. There's a whole bunch of different stories, archetypes we could call them as well, that we are, and we transition through them in our life. And each one we step into has a certain set of, how would you describe it, rules, expectations, obligations, etc. You become a dad, and you're expected to provide and keep a house over your head. And what is a homeowner? Well, a homeowner is somebody that pays their bills on time and takes care of the house and keeps it in working order and adds value to it, etc. If you start looking, how much of that is unconscious and just following the railroad tracks of what a life is here, and how much of that is actually you? How much of that is you striving for what you want? What, not what's programmed, but what's in your heart? What makes you excited? What makes you feel conscious? What makes you feel in your passion? And I think you're going to find out that a lot of them turned out to be hollow. There's a lot of people that have, mostly it's blamed on men, but I've seen it in women too, but have a midlife crisis where they start to question everything. They start to say, okay, well, this story is a lot of work and a lot of debt and a lot of giving myself away. And then you get to this point where it's like something's wrong. So right now we're at a time of our life where we are being like almost purging our old patterns, purging our old stories, starting to see through our whys. So who are you? Just ask that question, who you are. And if you start bringing up any of those archetypes or those kind of things, maybe if you're just starting out on them, they're all fluffy and seem fun. But when you're going to soccer 6 times a week and chasing to ballet and trying to go to work and have a job and get some fun time with your spouse, you start to realize that all those things have a whole pile of obligations that we never really chose, and they sway us away from having our own life, our own experience. And I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying they eat us up and they stop us from looking inside, and then we get unhappy, and then we blame our partner, and we blame our kids, or we have a breakdown, or all these things, all because we're following something that was programmed from the outside with a whole bunch of rules that we don't even aware of, or we're not even aware of, and then we're kind of like questioning everything and starting to die a little bit inside because these aren't in alignment, and trying to meet mom and dad's expectations when you're in your 40s, and then kids' expectations and all this programming, we get stuck, and we get, I call it the tilt, where we start saying, this isn't working, I have no life, I'm angry, and we lash out, and things fall apart for good reason. And that's why a lot of relationships are falling apart. A lot of people are questioning jobs and their relationships and their roles as mothers and fathers and that kind of stuff. Even children are pushing for, like we talk about the millennials, not like having expectations that they should get everything for free, and it's going against the grain of normal jobs, and we're complaining that these people aren't being sheep and they're trying to dig out from under what they've seen their parents in. So who are you? Just keep asking yourself that question and start delving into, okay, this isn't feeling good, this isn't fun, this is uncomfortable, this is not serving me. And as you start doing that, magic starts to happen, because we start to get a view of our whys. And now you're going to find out part of ascension, part of being the light, is going through all these roles, breaking down, becoming aware of our whys, what's programming, what's our own needs, starting to listen to our body, starting to listen to our heart, instead of trying to serve and satisfy these expectations, starting to go within, starting to build and nurture what we really want, what's exciting for us. Oh, there we're back. Facebook's been up and down like a yo-yo today, but starting to question everything, starting to understand our whys, understand our boss, starting to, and I understand's not the greatest word, but to become aware of and to become in alignment with what we're feeling, what our truth is, what's underneath the story, if they're pressuring us or they're pushing us or we hate them or whatever, starting to go underneath all that, starting to see how that serves us. You're going to find out that you go through a whole bunch of these archetypes over our lifetime, and we break them down, we explore them, we see them, and then we see them for the truth. And then we can reside without having to comply. We can reside to starting to serve our own soul, our own happiness, our own excitement, our own passion, and then some new things start to show up. It's a very big shift. So look into your who. Why are you that? And what drove you to that? And what forced you into these choices? And then start to determine if that's what's serving you, what's filling you, what's loving you. And then as you get there and you keep going through it, the magic starts to happen. So take a look, and nobody's stuck with anything. Trust me. The more and more we look at it, the more and more we're going to find out that we have a choice in a lot of stuff, but we're on autopilot sometimes. And that's the old way, getting out from under the autopilot, getting out from under the system, getting out from what they say is required. And you're going to grow. And that's where you're going to be awake and you're going to be conscious, and then you're going to be choosing for yourself, and then the magic happens. So take a look, go inside. Who are you? Why are you? What is it? And start asking those who, what, when, where, whys, and start to understand for yourself the rationale. And then you don't have to be victim to it. You don't have to comply with it. You don't have to do anything that doesn't resonate in your heart. So take a look. I've been doing a lot of this lately. See what you find. If you got questions or you got massive realizations, just put them down in the comments, and let's share this with people so that they can do their own. So I love you all. You have a great day. I got to pick up my son and have a fun afternoon. Talk to you soon. Love you all.